Welcome back to the shop. This is Ragsdale Creek, and I'm Anthony Brown. And today we're going to be installing this Winding, W-E-N-D-I-N Y power feed. I've got one on the X just exactly like it. So today we're going to be putting this on the Y feed, and here's a little sack of parts, shims, and electrical ties, and different things. And here's your stops for the to cut off the feed. This is the stop here. It'll be mounted up under here. And these are the little deals that come along, and knocked the page off there. These come along, it'll be sitting like this, and these will be down here. And as this feeds to this, it'll feed like this, and it'll hit that, and it'll stop, turn the power feed off. Most of y'all already knew that, but some beginners, they don't. So I'm going to try to learn them how to put a power feed on theirs. So I think everybody that's been in the trade for several years knows basically how to do it. With that being said, I'll set the camera up where you can see me taking it apart, and I'll try not to get my big head and big hands in the way where you can see a little bit of it. All right, with that being said, I'll turn the camera off and move it, and hopefully turn it back on. Okay, now what we got to do, we got to take this nut off, we got to take this handle off, and we got to take all of this off back to the spacer behind this. So with that being said, I've already loosened the nut up where it wouldn't be so hard to get off when I started taking it off. And while I was dropping things today, while I was in there, I cleaned some of this stuff up a little bit. And watch this key, because if you lose it, you'll have to make one, because I don't think you can buy them. Okay, now what we got to do, we got all that off. We got to take this spacer that was in behind the dial, we got to take it off. I get in too big a hurry sometimes, don't have all the tools in line. Okay, we got 3 screws here we got to take out, and it takes a little bitty plate. They're on this mill, on some of them they're 3/16. On this one it happens to be 5 millimeters, because it's a Trump Taiwanese clone, Bridgeport clone. And this is the little spacer. See, it's got 3 screws, and comes right off. I don't know how all those chips and stuff get behind when it ain't hardly any space, but they find a way. I guess that's from, using air on the machine. I know the shop that this came out of, they probably did. So now it says we got to put the provided spacer on there that they provide for us. This is the one that was in the package with the meal. And you got to watch how you put this on here, because it's got 2 threaded holes here, and then it's got 3 holes here. Okay, I found some screws that's gonna work. I ordered some 6 millimeter here a while back for a project, and I just ordered a assortment, and I'm glad I did. I had to use them 3 or 4 different times since I've got this mill. And I got a grinder too, but I hadn't got it ready to go yet. Okay, that's on there and good and tight. Okay, let me pause for just a minute and see if I can figure out something here to what they mean about this sleeve here and that other piece. Okay, I've had to do a lot of modifying since I've been gone. So I'm going to take y'all down from here and show y'all what I've been doing. Okay, first of all, the easy part was shimming this out. I just put it in there and kept putting shims in. I think it was 3,000 shims. I put a 20 in. It still rocked on this gear here. It was rocking back and forth. So I added a 10 and it still rocked. And I added another 3 and it stopped. So I went 10 over that. And to get my clearance, and that wasn't enough. I went 5 more because it was tight when I started to turn it. Well, they sent this is an extension shaft. Let me get it focused in here. Okay, that extends the shaft. That's where the shaft ended to start with, right here. And this is an extension right here. Okay, it's about right length. It's maybe a little long. So what I done, I lined these 2 keys up. The way I lined them up, that was to keep from having to pin this to the shaft, this shaft on the machine. I didn't want to drill a hole in it. I kept, it was almost lined up with this within about a quarter turn. I kept taking a thousandth at a time off and tightening the shaft back up on here until I could lay a straight edge along this key and it lined up with this key. And that worked out just fine. The keys they sent, I had to modify one of them. There it is on top of that indicator. But you can see I didn't want to cut it off. I wanted it to fit the whole shaft right here. I wanted it to fit the whole length of that shaft. So I just, and it's got shims right here so it couldn't, and this bushing hadn't got a, this behind here hadn't, that goes through the, I've got a flashlight here where you can see. See that little bushing right there don't have a key slot in it. That's the one that the bearings in the piece here rides on. It's hardened, and then the shaft. So I made that little key, the little step in it, so it would fit down in there and up under these shims and all. So we'll put it back in. I'm hand-holding it. I'm holding this, so it's probably getting y'all all kinds of dizzy. So I put that back in just so I don't lose it. And I got another key that goes out here. And that's what I did. I just took, I just put this in the lathe. and kept taking a thousandths off of the end until I got it to where it matched up. Now it's tight. I had to tighten it up real tight to get it to line up. And I wanted it that way. I put the handle back on it and just got a rubber mallet and hit the handle to tighten it up. And if it didn't line up, I'd take it back off and take another thousandths off. So it lines up now. That goes in there now. And it's in there good and snug. Now I'm going to show you. I'm still not sure if I need another shim or not, so I'm going to tighten that handle back up on that without putting this dial back on here. This dial here, because all it does is float on there anyway. So I'm going to leave it right there for right now. And I'm going to put the handle back on here. And then I'm going to tighten the screw up on it, or the nut. Okay, let me put y'all back on the stand. Okay, we got y'all sitting back up there now. Nice and cozy where you don't get dizzy no more. So we're going to tighten this up and see if we're still a little tight or not, because I added another shim. And it's still a little bit tight. So we're going to take it back off. Let me check something. Make sure it ain't.